Welcome in, everybody. Hello, how are you? Today we're here to talk about the newest hero added to Naraka Blade Point, Shayol Wei. This is the majestic turtle, and she's here in all her glory. We're going to talk about her moves, her ultimates, and how she works. Got my boy Katana Kakashi with me today, and we're out here in the training zone known as Celestra. So let's talk about her and her moves, what they do. First, we're going to cover her F skills. This is her first F, F1. This is going to be a shield bash, right? A shield that you can knock people back with. So, oops, it looks like that, and it looks like this. Boom. So what that does is a close quarter move to get somebody away from you, clear the area, and reset your position, their position. There's a couple things that you can do with it, including doing it in the air. It'll actually attack upwards and knock back any opponents that get struck by it. Thank you, sir. So right here we can demonstrate that move. Come over here. So we're going to go boom, boom. We're going to do a little uppercut, and then we're going to use the F. And the F's going to shield upwards and knock Kakashi back. He's going to show you what it looks like when he hits me. Okay, yes, actually, pretty cool. So the F1 can be used under attack. It's good for if you get parried, potentially to stop the counter damage being applied to you, or any further damage after that. Alright, bird. F2 now to show you guys what that is. Woo! F2 is a shield bash. It's a dash that moves forward. The thing about it is the initial timer is pretty low, the initial cooldown on the skill, and if you don't make contact with anyone, the cooldown continues to burn, and so it stays pretty low. So it's going to be, see how the cooldown's starting to tick already? When we come out of the skill, it goes up slightly, but we're back at about 15 seconds, 16-second cooldown is what it is. If you make contact with someone, that's going to make the cooldown go up a bit. So we're going to... goes up to about 18 when you make contact. This is not a combo breaker skill. This is good for mobility, and it's really good for tracking down your opponent. It can be used in close quarter in order to try to take priority into like a neutral position. So let's see if Katana's all over me. Give me some swipes. Whop, 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 whop. Here, I can shield bash and try to get back a combo of my own. Because we're going to cover one more thing about the F2 here. The F2, when we talked about that cooldown reduction earlier, it initially starts with a 16-second cooldown. And if you don't do the final swing, you can see the cooldown remains low. It doesn't get any reset happening. If you strike an opponent, or if you do the bash even to open air, it's going to increase your cooldown 9, 16. It almost doubles your cooldown by allowing that last strike to happen. So when you're trying to move away from your enemy and you're not using it for offense, you just want to use it to reposition, potentially get a reset, you can see how quickly this thing would come back and allow you to continue to use it. Boom. We're moving, we're moving, we're moving. Right about 9 seconds, you want to cancel it, which I didn't do quite quick enough, and then see it increase that timer. We want that timer to continue to be at 9 seconds or less when we cancel it. That way we can use it again right after. So we're going to see how quickly we can get around this building here. And now it's at 5 seconds till it's ready again. And then we can here use it one more time. And we cancel it. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. It's ready again in 4 seconds. It's a crazy good move for maneuverability if that's what you need it for. It's there. You can add it to your kit. Can't be grapple stunned during it. Bam. So there's a couple ways to fight her Fs. Her F2 charges up and rushes at you. It cannot go vertical, so you can stay aerial, get in the air, and you'll probably avoid almost all of it. You can also answer it with a lot of different Fs. So watch Kakashi now. He's going to use her first F skill, the shield the big shield that can be used under attack that knocks you back, and I'm going to be rushing in with this shield here. So he received a bit of damage, but he wasn't knocked back, and he wasn't put in a position of vulnerability, and he's able to stand his ground, potentially armoring and trying to win that neutral. Her ultimate is what we're going to cover next. So the ultimate works like this. When you activate it, you get 3 black tortoise shells. You see them in the middle there. He just took 1 away, and I have 2 remaining. Each time you get hit, it'll activate your turtle shell. When the turtle shell is up, you can again hit your ultimate button and launch a counter attack strike by throwing the shell out, catching your opponent for a minute. Boom! And you get 3 of those. And so what happens is, when you activate it, you grant it with 3 black tortoise shells. You can see in the middle of the screen there, those 3 shells. When he strikes me, one of those shells is activated. As long as he's striking me, that shell won't go away. They last for 2 seconds. And each time you're struck, it resets that timer. You can see now we're still on that 1 shell, and I have 1 left after this. From here, you can choose to activate that counter strike and trap your opponent. Alrighty, so now we're going to cover her second ultimate, her second version, V2. And so in this, she still, when activated, she still gets the 3 black tortoise shells. But each time they're triggered, instead of launching the counter attack by throwing the disc out in front of her, she's going to mark an enemy for 15 seconds. Or if they get more than 50 meters away, it'll disappear. The mark, though, will teleport you to them no matter where they go. And you can initiate a backstab. Boop, out of that. So if he hits me again, boom, activates a second shell. And see the mark on his character? That yellow mark now. So no matter where we are, as long as we're not more than 50 meters away, I can teleport to him. Boom. And get some damage in.
And a piece of advice, don't jump like I'm doing, because they can combo extend off that. They can slide uppercut you out of that.
Like a Matari ult. Don't jump. One more thing to note is when Shayol Wei ultimates, she's immune to stagger and melee damage, but skill damage, burn damage, poison damage is still going to affect her. So he's Zai, which on his F has a burn. Hit me with it. Boom. You can see now that my health's still ticking away. So you're not immune to any burn damage or poison damage. You still can be frozen while in ultimate, and you'll take a bit of damage while frozen or stunned by Signs or Viper ultimate. Alrighty, so now we're going to talk about a couple ways to fight against the ultimate and a few options that you have when dealing with this, because it lasts for 30 seconds, and a lot of times you can either run, let that 30-second timer wear out. Your opponent could potentially get heals if you're not staying on top of them, or a full reset. So there's other options than just outlasting the ultimate. A couple things you can do. One thing you can do is proc the ultimate. So go ahead and hit her. And then you tap dodge the ultimate like that. So now I have 1 used. He can hit me again. Hit me again. And then here I come. Tap dodge. Hits me 1 more time. And here it comes. And so now the ultimate's finished. If he hits me now, even though it's running technically, smack me 1 time. You can see that my shield does not come up. I've used all 3 shells. And so for the first variant and the second variant, you can tap dodge when she throws or launches the counterattacks. And that's going to be a good way to go ahead and get her ultimate done in somewhere between 6 and 10 seconds versus 30 seconds. And having to wait that out. So there's an option of fighting her ultimate. As far as her Fs go, this F2 cannot go upwards. So if you see it coming, fantastic. Boom. So now we're going to talk about her biggest weakness, which is ranged. Move over here a little bit because that box is loud. Boom. So in ultimate, while in ultimate, range affects her almost everything besides staggering headshots from a bow, from a musket. Those are about your only options. Almost everything else is fair game. So Kakashi's got a pistol in pocket as well as a bow, and he's going to demonstrate kind of how it works. So I pop my ultimate. Normally I cannot be hurt by melee attacks, but ranged attacks don't stagger, And that's doing a lot of damage. If he hits me with a bow, though, right in the head, it's going to pull the shield up, and I'm going to be able to do that counter strike. Uncharged bow shots and almost all other ranged weapons will not initiate the shield, leaving her vulnerable to taking damage. That's Shayol Wei. She's here to stay in Naraka Blade Point. I hope you guys get to use her. Have a good time out there. She's really, really interesting to see on the battlefield. She brings a lot of variety. There's different ways that you have to play against her and how you have to answer her ultimates and Fs. Catch you guys later. Shout out to Kakashi for coming out to help. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.